Hello students, welcome to yet another session of political science. Today we are going to discuss the chapter Election and Representation for class 11. So let us begin. Our first topic is elections and democracy. So what is the basic inspiration behind conducting elections? See children, if you think about any of the games, say we take the example of cricket, and suppose if there are no umpires in cricket, then what will happen? There are chances that the players might go to adopt an indifferent method or might even get to take up cheating in the game. So to ensure the reliability and authenticity of any game, rules are very important. In the same manner, it goes for the elections. For every elections, rules and regulations are equally important. And specifically when we talk about democracy, that is the rule of the people where people are holding utmost power, then this becomes very, very important. So, for any democracy to succeed and to make the people feel free and secure and in the meantime powerful and having control and participation in their government, it is very important that democracy allows them a system where through elections they can choose their representatives. So, elections are very much essential in a democracy. Now, another question. There are many countries in the world where elections are not conducted in free and fair manner, but still these countries emphasize to hold elections in such a manner that the people may feel that they are empowered, and in the meanwhile the government also takes up certain unfair means. This part you have already read in class 9 textbook when we were reading about the case of Zimbabwe and elections of Pakistan also, when in 1999 General Pervez Musharraf was there in power. So he increased and enhanced in power his powers, and democracy and its rules were not being followed. Now, another important thing, election system in India. So what type of system we are having in India? In India, we have followed the system of first past the post system that is being borrowed from UK. As you all are familiar that India was under the control of British government and they had imposed their administrative ways in our country. So it was very much feasible for India to adopt and to follow the rules and regulations with which they were already familiar. So what is this rule and regulation that we follow? We simply follow the first past the post system. Now, this system is also known by the name of plurality system. When we are talking about election system in India, we need to understand that there are two types of elections where we can see direct democracy and indirect democracy being practiced. By direct democracy, we mean the system of Greece. In ancient world, the Greek people used to follow the system of direct democracy, but that system was only favorable for small populations. According to Aristotle, the Greek city-states who could follow direct democracy should not in any condition have population more than 5,040. But in case of India, India has a very enormous population of lakhs and crores of people. So this system of direct democracy is not feasible for our country. So which type of democracy do we practice here? Because of the parliamentary system, we follow the indirect method of democracy, that is, we choose our representatives for the Lok Sabha, they form the legislature over there, and representatives are chosen for the Rajya Sabha as well, that is the state council, and along with the two houses and the president, this legislature takes decisions on behalf of the people of India. Now let us understand what is the first pass, the post system. See children, if anybody has to read in a school, or say you need to seek admission in a college, then it is very important that you should first clear the competitive exam. So until and unless you clear your competitive exam, you are not entitled to become the student of the college, or you are not entitled to seek admission in a school system also. So this first part, the post system, is also the very basic system. So for this system, what is done? India is divided basically in 543 constituencies. As you all are familiar, that geographical areas are divided in the name of constituencies for the sake of smooth conduction of elections. So we have a number of 543 constituencies. Another important feature of first past the post system is that from each area one representative is elected. That means from each of the constituency one representative is elected. Another criteria is the person, say from a particular area there are 4 or 5 candidates contesting the election. So who would become victorious? The person, the candidate who has secured the highest number of votes would be declared as elected in these elections. Now, when we have understood the first past the post system, another method of elections that is very much popular is the system of proportional representation. But children, this method is not very much suitable for big countries. It is effective in small countries where the geographical areas are limited and the population is also not that enormous. So for small populations and small areas, this proportional representation system works out. This system has two variations. Let us discuss them one by one. In this system, each party fills its quota of seats by picking its nominees from a preference list. That means a party list is prepared and the names of the members of that particular list are declared even before the conduction of elections. So in this type of system, the party is of utmost importance and the candidates are not that important. So the people, they cast their vote, they select their political parties and not a person or a candidate. This system is popularly followed in countries like Israel and Netherlands. So what is being done? What is the important feature? They conduct elections and consider the entire country as one constituency. As you have seen earlier that India has 543 constituencies in both the countries Israel and Netherlands. The entire country is considered as one big constituency only. And here the seats are allocated to each party according to its share of votes in the national elections. So when the elections are conducted, then the parties are allotted seats on the basis of support from the people in the form of votes in the national elections. Now, another variation of this proportional representation is dividing the country into several multi-membered constituencies, as in Argentina and Portugal. So this is another variation, and instead of declaring one constituency and declaring the number of political parties in this system, what is done? Multi-membered constituencies are there, and the people again vote for the political party and not for a person. So the countries that follow are Argentina and Portugal. Now, it is very much essential to understand the comparison of first past the post system and proportional representation system. Here, as you can see, in both these variations, voters exercise their preferences for a party and not a candidate, which is just an opposite of first past the post system. In first past the post system, instead of political parties, people go for choosing a particular candidate as their representative, and they totally entrust the person with their trust. So that person is held accountable in this system. While in PR system, what do we observe? In the PR system, the political parties hold greater responsibility. So let us understand, why did India adopt the first past the post system? Children, as I told you in the very beginning, India was under the control of the British government. So once the Britishers had implemented their rules and regulations, they had introduced various systems in the country, it was very much feasible, it was very much suitable, and it was very much comfortable for the Indian leaders and the common people of the country to adopt the systems from which they were already familiar. That was the system of first past the post. Now, the reasons behind the popularity of this system in India are that this system is very much simple. Because of the simplicity of the system, it is very much possible for the people to understand how elections are conducted and whether they are conducted in a free and fair manner or not, and what is their role that they are supposed to play during the elections. So this system is really simple, but when we talk about proportional representation, this system is quite complicated, as I told you that each party fills its quota of seats by picking its nominees from a preference list and declares them before elections. So this is a complicated system. Another important thing is accountability of candidates. As you all know, in India, people go for their leaders, their representatives, and if something goes wrong, they hold that person accountable, and that person also understands his responsibility towards the common people. If he or she is not supportive during his tenure in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, there are very less chances of him or her getting re-elected. Then this system is very much suitable for the parliamentary system, because through this system we can ensure stable government in a parliamentary system, where the president is also there as the nominal head and we have the prime minister as the real head of the system. So in a parliamentary system, if we need to maintain a stable government, then we need to vote according to the choices of the people, the choices of their representatives. Another important thing is that this system encourages the voters from different social groups to come together for winning an election. It might be from the higher class, it might be from the lower class, or it might be from various belief systems or communities also. Another important thing of this system is it is basically a two-party system. If you observe worldwide, if you observe worldwide, this is a two-party system, but in India we can observe that this system has come up as a multi-party system and has also given rise to coalitions. Thank you very much. The